I'm all for work-life balance, but I think this is pushing it.
Chát là tí.
Don't blink! Get them!
To ashes!
Speed of light! Cut to the chase!
Dodge this!
Incoming!
Don't get frostbite!
Speed of light! Eat this! With sword comes shadow. Don't blink!
Power that ended Haishan! Back off!
Speed of light! Out of the frying pan! Hey! Nowhere to hide.
பண்ணிட்டு தான் இருக்கேன்
Incoming!
ஏண்டா என்னடா இதானா
Miss you!
நான் சொல்ல சரி யாரெல்லாம் வரீங்கோ படம் பார்க்க ஏன் சொல்ற வாயாடி நீதான் சொல்லிட்டியடா என்கிட்ட ஆ ம் நான் பார்க்கலையே ஓட்டி ஓட்டி தான் ப்ரோ பார்த்துருக்கேன் ஃபுல்லாக பார்க்கல 22+.
Race you!
ஓ ஐ சி ஜிஓடிலாம் நல்லா இருக்கும் ஓட்டி ஓட்டி பார்த்துருக்கேன் இருக்கியாடா என்ன எங்கடா கிரண்
Back off!
Cut to the chase. Don't blink.
Oh, so sorry.
Eyes on me!
Booba, get them. Incoming. Yeah. Don't blink.
நீ பேசலாமா கேக்குது கேக்குது
Nowhere to hide. Incoming.
கேட்கல போ
Don't blink.
Back off!
With sword comes shadow. Speed of light. Nice and spicy.
Freeze.
Don't blink.
டிவியா கரெக்டா
Don't get frostbite. Dodge this.
To ashes!
அப்படி இல்லையடா
Back off!
Nowhere to hide. Incoming. Booba, get them.
Back off!
Nice. Don't blink. You're toast. Booba, get them. Cut to the chase.
Power that ended Python!
Out of the frying pan into the
Cool it.
incoming. Speed of light.
இந்த ஈவெண்ட்
This moment will be frozen in time.
அதான் முடிச்சிட்டு இருக்கேன்
Nowhere to hide. Don't blink.
Dodge this.
Booba, get them. Speed of light.
அதையும் பார்க்கலாமா நைட்டு? இல்லடா நாளைக்கு கவர்மெண்ட் ஆகுது. நவராத்திரி இன்னைக்கு 2 படம் பார்த்துக்கலாமா?
With sword comes shadow. Incoming. Nice and spicy.
Cool it. Oh, so sorry. Dodge this.
To ashes!
Eat this. Lola, get them. Race you. Speed of light. Cut to the chase.
எனக்காக கூடியா? டேய் இந்த எல்லா இனிமையும் இந்த ஈவெண்ட்ல என்னது இது? எல்லாரையும் அடிச்சா என்னடா எனக்கு கிடைக்கும்? அப்படி மோரா அந்த ரிவார்டு வேணா கிடைக்கும். அவ்வளோதான். மோராக்காக விளாட்றேன். மூன் நைட் சீக்கர் எல்லாமே சரி ஆகும்.
Come on, enough procrastinating. Let's go.
யாரா கேட்டது அத? இந்த ரிவார்டு கலெக்ட் பண்றது.
Incoming. I'll be fine. Nice and spicy.
You're open.
You haven't won yet!
Speed of light.
Freeze.
Boba, get them. With sword comes shadow. Incoming.
அப்புறம் இன்னொன்று முட்டை மாதிரி
This moment will be frozen in time. Dodge this.
Eyes on me!
Nice and spicy. Race you.
so soon.
Really? Speed of light.
Don't push your luck. Freeze. Try. Try.
Boba, get them.
No escape.
Incoming.
Try.
Speed of light.
Picked the wrong test subject.
Yes.
With sword comes shadow.
Don't get frostbite.
To ashes!
Out of the frying pan. Don't blink.
Dodge this.
That tingle? That tingle? I got carried.
Nice and spicy.
A little taste.
Catch right.
Picked the wrong test subject.
Incoming. Cut to the chase. Out of the frying pan, into the fire. Eat this.
Freeze. Oh, so sorry. Ha! Cool it.
Boba, get them.
Freeze.
Don't blink.
Eyes on me!
Cool it.
With sword comes shadow. Out of the frying pan, into the fire. Incoming.
Freeze. Ah!
Boba, get them.
Don't get frostbite. Dodge this.
Don't blink.
ஜியா
Incoming! Cut to the chase! Don't blink! You're toast!
Back off! To ashes!
Incoming!
Cool it!
With sword comes shadow. Speed of light! Hit!
This world will be frozen in time. Freeze!
Incoming! Nowhere to hide.
Back off!
Don't blink. Out of the frying pan, into the fire. Speed of light.
Oh, so sorry.
Power that ended high shot!
With sword comes shadow. Booba, get them!
Back off!
Cut to the chase.
ashes!
Frostbite. Cool it.
Speed of light! With sword comes shadow.
What's the hurry?
கம்மனே இருடா. யாரா
Don't blink! Eat this! Nowhere to hide.
This moment will be frozen in time.
Eyes on me!
Booba, get them!
Dodge this!
Cut to the chase. Out of the frying pan. Speed of light.
Back off!
Freeze!
With sword from shadow. Hey!
To ashes!
Cool it!
Nice and spicy. Hey, yeah! Don't blink.
Oh, so sorry.
Cut to the chase. Booba, get them! Hey! With sword from shadow. Nice and spicy.
I never yield.
Help! Regenerate attack.
Dodge this!
Speed of light.
Eyes on me! Crew, set sail for home.
Booba, get them! Not bad, as far as treasure is concerned. That's everything. On to the next.
Cool it!
Back off!
Dodge this! Ha! How fortunate. Cool it!
Speed of light!
Dodge this! Freeze! How fortunate. Ha. What's the hurry? Ha. Ha. Oh. What's the hurry? Ah!
Incoming!
Look over there! She's all by herself, right? Because she's acting as if she's talking and laughing with somebody else. Heimat's creeped out. What? You mean you used to act like that too? So is this an invisible friend who hangs out with you sometimes? Or do they just imaginary? Imagination. Oh, you must mean imagined friend, right? Why didn't you just say so? So, this imaginary imaginary friend of yours. When does Paimon get to meet them? Seriously? So imaginary friends just disappear when you grow up? Oh, Paimon was looking forward to meeting yours. Hey, don't suppose your brother has an imaginary friend too? No way! You guys are so lucky! Because they have this game in Liyue. Have you heard of it? It's a 4-player game, but it seems you guys could play it with just the 2 of you.
Oh, Traveler. Fancy meeting you here.
Tone-deaf bard. What are you doing here?
I'm here because Lisa has been making some exciting new contraptions.
Why does the thought of Lisa's contraptions make Paimon so nervous?
Come now, that's no way to speak about the elegant Miss Lisa. For this particular contraption, Lisa had to import some dangerous materials from Sumeru.
Dangerous?
I know, right? Apparently, though, it's called an Urnama detector. Sadly, Lisa isn't able to use it herself, so I'm borrowing it for a while. And also, I'm testing it out for her, to see if it actually works.
Huh? Why can't Lisa use it?
Perhaps it's because she lacks a certain childlike sense of wonder. Or maybe there's some other reason for it. If you want to know for sure, just ask her yourself sometime.
So, you can see them? Go on, tell us. What does his imaginary friend look like?
That would be telling. Anyway, it's all yours now, Traveler. Take a look. See if you can see Nora's imaginary friend. So it does work for you two.
Paimon wants to see? Wait, but this gizmo isn't in Paimon's size. Alright then, you'll just have to be Paimon's eyes on the ground. Let's go see what everyone's imaginary friends look like. Flora from the flower shop always seems kinda floaty-headed, you know? Paimon bets she has an imaginary friend. Wait, imaginary friends can be plants now?
Hi, Traveler. Hi, Bard. Sure. How can I help? Oh, you mean Mr. Floaty? Most people can't see him. Mr. Floaty is my bestest friend. We grew up together.
No fair. Paimon hates feeling left out.
Flora, why exactly are you friends with a bloaty floaty?
What's wrong with it? I always wanted to be friends with a plant who could fly.
Friends with a flying plant? Why?
Because then when it's windy, you and your friend can fly off into the sky together. You gotta admit that's pretty cool.
Isn't that called being blown away?
That's what some people like to call it. I only found out this plant existed from an explorer who told me stories of his adventures. I think his name was Stanley. Stanley's an adventurer. And you can tell he's an expert at it from the stories he tells. The Amazing Adventures of Stanley are super famous in Mondstadt. He's in the city at the moment. You should go ask him to tell you some of his stories.
That sounds like a fun idea for next time. But right now we have other things to attend to.
Flora's a pretty mysterious kid.
Which child shall we interrogate next?
thinking. Oh, how about that little guy on the bridge? No way!
Well, that is unexpected.
Timmy's imaginary friend is a ruin guard? Paimon's freaking out right now. That thing is sure to attack us.
What say you we postpone our conversation with Timmy for the time being?
Huh? Paimon has a favorite line? Seriously? Oh, alright then. How about we explore the area ahead of us later? Children are more open-minded. Is that why they can think up all kinds of imaginary friends?
Fitting, isn't it? That the City of Freedom should be home to children with such boundless powers of imagination.
What about adults' imaginations? Let's ask some adults at the tavern.
The thing about wine is, you have to drink it at the tavern or you miss out on half the fun.
Seems to me you'd find some way of keeping yourself amused even if you drank alone.
If I didn't know any better, I would say you're being deliberately uncivil.
Just drink responsibly on my premises, okay?
Oh, and if I did have one too many, what then? You'd throw me out along with the trash, is that it?
Throw you out?
You know, the same way you threw out Father's legacy. You sold off his mansion, or maybe you've forgotten.
I see no reason to cling to things that have outlived their purpose.
Is that so? Then I trust you were most swift indeed to part with a certain vase?
Sorry, I have no recollection.
That's odd. Master Diluc, I'm sure I saw such a vase in your home. A beautiful one, unmistakable in fact.
Seems our suspicions were right. Grown-ups don't appear to have imaginary friends.
Like I said, a lack of childlike
யார்
wonder.
விளாடுறாடா?
So people just stop dreaming when they grow up? Okay, well, Paimon for one never wants to grow
அப்போ கூட
up.
அமைதியா தான் இருக்கா.
This raises an interesting question. At what age exactly do people's imaginary friends disappear?
ரீல்ஸா?
Let's go and
அட
check.
பாவி. விசில வந்துட்டு ரீல்ஸ் பார்த்து
How about Ellen? Someone of her age surely must have some imagination left, don't you think?
Uh-oh. Somehow Paimon finds the idea of not being able to see out.
That's everything. On to the next.
என்னடா சாங்கியோட
Jean? What is Jean doing here? Is Master Jean Ellen's imaginary friend? So she's so determined to become a knight that she... Okay, that's kind of weird.
Huh? Oh, hello. What are you guys doing?
Are you always training here?
You bet. Today, I heard Stanley talking about his adventures. It was incredible. It got me really pumped up. I hope I can be as outstanding as him one day.
So that you can fight shoulder to shoulder with Master Jean?
I mean, obviously I want to become a knight. And if I got to go on an adventure with Jean herself, well, even better.
Seems Alan really looks up to Jean.
Huh, thanks! I was thinking, it's not every day I get to hang out with the honorary knight. Would you join me for some sword training? Huh, how can I smash all these training dummies at once? Shame. Didn't Huh, how can I smash all these training dummies at once? Shame. Didn't manage. Huh. How can I smash all these training dummies at once? Cut to the chase. So
National
that's
Day வா
how to do it. I'm impressed.
சார்
Oh, thank you. It's clear I still have a long way to go in my training.
So modest. I, for one, think you're quite the pro at this already.
Well, I'm exhausted from training, so clearly my fitness needs some
இது
work.
அப்புறம்
One day, though, I'll
நவராத்திரிக்கு ஏதோ
smash all the
celebrate
training dummies in
பண்றாங்களாமே.
Mondstadt.
Alan, she's our girl. If she
இது
can't do it,
கூப்பிட்டாங்க பாடுறதுக்கு யாருன்னா
really,
இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட்
Cheryl?
இருந்தா வந்து பாடுங்க.
Thanks. Shoot, I got so caught up here I forgot there's something I was supposed to do today.
ஆமா ஆமா
Ugh,
உனக்கு
but I'm
சொன்னாங்களே
so
இல்லையா?
sore from training. I can hardly move. Honorary Knight, could you deliver a message to Jack for me? He's a friend of mine, recently started as an adventurer. We were gonna meet up tonight and discuss adventure plans.
சரி, நேத்தே
Could
சொன்னாங்க.
you let him know it'll have to be another day? If I'm not mistaken, you should find him at the Temple of the Lion. He's adventuring with Stanley today. Stanley's a truly legendary adventurer, renowned in all of Mondstadt. He once set foot in the Mare Javari. Great! Thank you so much. That's everything.
நாளைக்குலாம்
On
இல்லை
to the next.
எவனும் வரமாட்டான். எஸ்வி சஞ்சீவ் யாரா ஏதோ டிஸ்கார்டில் ஃப்ரெண்ட் ரிக்வெஸ்ட்லாம் கொடுத்தான். நேற்று தான் அவனை பற்றி பேசணும். ஏன் எல்லாருக்கும் கொடுக்குறான்? ஐடிகே ஐ டோன்ட் நோ ப்ரோ. ஆனா அவன் இந்த சாட்ல இருந்தால அந்த ரீப்பர் கேமிங் தமிழ் அவன் எப்படி திடீர்னு அவனை பத்தி நேத்து தான் பேசணும், அதுக்குள்ள ஃப்ரெண்ட் ரிக்வெஸ்ட்லாம் கொடுத்துருக்கான். ஹீரோ பாய் நீ தானடா அது அந்த எஸ்வி எப்படி ப்ரோ நேற்று நம்ம 2 பேர் மட்டும் தான் பேசிட்டு இருந்தோம் அவனை பற்றி. திடீர்னு ஃப்ரெண்ட் ரிக்வெஸ்ட்லாம் கொடுக்குறான். அடப்பாயா கிடப்பாயா தான் அவன்லாம் ஏன்டா.
the Temple of the Lion? We explored this place once before, didn't we? During the
என்னடா
storm
ஏற்கனவே
terror
கணக்கு
incident.
வச்சு பண்ணேன் அதனால தான்.
Seems like it's now a hot spot for adventurers. That can only mean one thing.
கம்முன்னு தான் இருந்தேன் இருந்தாலும்
We didn't bag all the loot last time. Looks like we can't go any further.
Not to worry.
அக்கௌண்ட்
Allow
ஃபஸ்ட்டு
me.
சொல்லாமல் இருந்தேன்.
Those who wander in the dust, the wind shall send soaring sky high.
அந்த ரெண்டும் ஒன்று தான் சொன்னான். வேற மாதிரி என்ன சொல்றது இல்லை அதானே சொல்லுவார்.
Let's play.
தெரியும். என்ன இவரு சொல்லிட்டாரு. அழகா இந்த டே இல்ல ப்ரோ, இது இந்த மாசம் ஃபுல்லா அதுதான்.
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
நத்த சொல்ல ஜனாக்சி வந்தாண்டா.
Here we go.
இவனுக்கு இவன் தான் பேரு கொடுத்தானா?
Don't blink.
ஆமா ப்ரோ. இல்ல அவன் பேரை எடுக்க சொன்னேன், என்ன அப்படி மாத்த சொன்னேன். ஜனாக்சின்னு பேரை மாத்த சொன்னேன். அதான் அப்படிதான் சொன்னேன். சொல்றா அப்படி ஒருத்தர் இருக்கான்னு உண்மையிலே நம்ப வச்சுக்க.
Let's play.
This moment will be frozen.
Yo. அட பைத்தியம், எவ்வளோ நாள் நான் சொல்லாம இருக்கேன். ரொம்ப நாளா சொல்லவே இல்லை ப்ரோ. பைத்தியம் நல்லா பிரால் எல்லாம் ஆட மாட்டாரான்னு கேட்டேன். டேய்
Freeze.
Speed of light.
அவனாச்சும் பரவாயில்ல. ஓ ஜனாக்சின்ற கேரக்டர்
With sword comes shadow. Think you can get away? Yahoo!
Oh, so sorry. Cool it.
இது கேரக்டர்லாம் காசு கொடுத்து வாங்குற மாதிரி இருந்தா நல்லா இருக்கும்.
I was so sure I was about to die.
To be fair, that could have gone either way. So, you must be Jack the Adventurer, I assume?
Yes. Who are you?
Actually, we came looking for you.
Ellen has a message for you. She said she won't be able to join you today to plan out your next adventure together. She'll join you some other time.
Oh, I see. I feel bad you had to come all this way to find me, and then had to rescue me.
Huh? I don't see what all the fuss is about. It was nothing that I, Stanley, couldn't have dealt with by myself.
Whoa! You are Stanley? You are that legendary adventurer? Renowned in all of Mondstadt? Who once set foot in the Mare Jafari?
The very same.
I must say, it's an honor to meet one as legendary as yourself. Well then, how would everyone like to proceed? Head back or head further inside?
Well, I think you're now in the safe hands of Stanley, the great explorer and legend of Mondstadt. In which case, why head back now?
Okay, motion passed by unanimous consent. Let's head further in.
இரு பாக்குறேன்.
So, I'm guessing you mostly came here because you want to hear my adventure stories. Am I right?
Yeah.
No, we really were just looking for Jack.
What? Do you know who I am? I am Stanley, renowned adventurer of Mondstadt.
நானும் அப்படிதான்
Yeah, I think we got that.
Well, your attitude says maybe you don't want that. I am Stanley, the living legend. Stanley who braved the Mare Jafari.
enough already! Ugh, stop name-dropping yourself every time you open your mouth!
It's true, though. Stanley is the most amazing guy.
Well, Jack would listen, won't you? Where was I?
You and your partner reached the Mare Javari, a famously terrifying place with not a wisp of wind.
Precisely! There was a deathly silence in the air. A sea of ashes stretched out before us, as far as the eye could see. The Mare Javari. Suddenly, my partner was caught in a whirlpool whipped up by an evil beast. Luckily, I managed to grab hold of him just in time.
Wow! So, did he make it?
Sadly, in the end,
நான்
I
pay
alone was
பண்ணிட்டு
able to set foot on home ground once more. As a gentle breeze carried away the tears welling up in my eyes.
That poor guy. How could that happen?
Jack, you can't cry so easily if you want to be a great adventurer.
I know. Because an adventurer's proudest achievement is to die in the course of his final adventure.
டார்கெட் பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கேன் அவ்வளவுதான்.
But whatever happens, no adventurer should ever die in a place where the wind doesn't blow.
Okay.
The wind has to bring your spirit back to Mondstadt.
So I am
That's right. To die
Okay,
in a
bro,
place
okay,
where
bro.
the wind
Subscribe
and to
பண்ணி
have
பாருங்க
your
bro.
spirit carried back to Mondstadt on the wind. That's the dream.
Yeah. Although, most I can aspire to right now is beginner's commissions, like clearing out the slimes clogging up the sewers.
You shouldn't die in a place with no
வேற என்ன
wind.
கேம் ஆடுவோம்?
Why do they keep going on about that? Is that why Stanley thinks the Mare Javari is the most terrifying place in the world? Because there's no wind there?
ஆமா.
Race you!
வந்துட்டா.
Yahoo!
வேலரண்ட், போக்கிமான் யூனைட். போக்கிமான் யூனைட் நல்லா இருக்கா ப்ரோ? நல்லா இருக்காடா கிடு? ஏத்தலாமா? ஆமா. கேம்ஸ் அப்படியா ப்ரோ? இரு ப்ரோ, மாத்திக்க. இப்போ கரெக்டா இருக்கா ப்ரோ? கரெக்டா இருக்கும் நம்புறேன்.
Here we go!
சிம்பிளா? என்ன சிம்பிள்? அப்படிலாம் எதுவும் இல்லை ப்ரோ. சிம்பிள் இல்ல, எஸ்ஆர்எம் அட் டேட் ஆஃப் பர்த் அவ்வளோதான்.
Speed of light!
ஆமாம் ப்ரோ. அப்படியா? எனக்கு அந்த ஃபார்மேட்லாம் சொன்னாங்க ப்ரோ. வேற எஸ்ஆர். ஆமா ஆமா ஆமா.
I'm the frying pan, it's the fire! Hey, yeah!
ஏதோ ஒன்று யூஸ் பண்ணு.
Traveler, I believe I've made a small Could I ask you to use the Nernama detector?
What? Stanley has an imaginary friend?
It seems his imaginary friend is a seasoned warrior, covered in scars from head to foot, and a look of staunch determination on his face. You're saying his imaginary friend is an idealized version of his own self?
ஸ்லாஷ்லாம் எதுவும் இல்லையே. அட்டு ஆஹா ஸ்லாஷ்லாம் எதுவும் இல்லை, அப்படியே போடு.
Please excuse
டேட் ஆஃப் பர்த். அதான் அப்படியே போடு.
I'll be leaving now.
Bye, Stanley. Do you two still have time to spare?
What is it?
A few days ago, Stanley got drunk and told me a secret. Something he's never told anyone before. The weapons he took on his adventure all those years ago, they were none other than those once wielded by Mondstadt's greatest hero, Vanessa herself. The sword of brilliant valor and the shield of magnificent honor. I don't know whether you believe me, but apparently, both the sword and shield are still right here in Mondstadt, over in Dadaupa Gorge. Since you guys are the experts at this, can you come with me to try and retrieve these two legendary weapons? You bet! This is Stanley we're talking about. If I can just get a hold of something impressive enough to show my family what I'm capable of, maybe they'll finally come around to the idea of me being an adventurer. Right now, I'm just a rookie. My abilities are limited, and my parents don't support my goals one bit. So, what do you say? Help a guy out? I can't bring myself to tell Stanley about it, because my reasons are so selfish. But I swear I'll give the weapons back to him as soon as I'm done.
Poor Jack. Let's help him out. Venti, you coming too?
என்னதுடா?
I don't know.
Oh, one other thing. I have a bottle of rare vintage wine that I had someone fetch for me a couple years ago. Help me find these weapons, and it's all yours.
Dadaupa Gorge, was it? Let's hurry. There's no time to lose.
அது ஒன்றும் அவ்வளோ பெரிய விஷயம் இல்லைடா. மண்டேல இருந்து நினைக்கிறேன். அது ஒரு ஸ்லைடு நீ முடிக்கணும் ப்ரோ. ஈவெண்ட்ல போய் பாரு எவ்வளோ முடிச்சிருக்கோம். ஆமா அப்படிதான் நினைக்கிறேன். அப்பதான் பசங்க எவ்வளோ கலாட்டா பண்ண மாட்டாங்க. எஸ்கேவா இந்த இரு பார்க்குறேன். இன்னும் ப்ரொஃபைல் வரேன். லெஃப்ட் டாப் கார்னரா? ஜிஎஸ் கார்ச்சன் சாமுவல் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இயர். இந்தியா எஸ் கிரண் வரல அப்படியே இருக்கட்டும். அக்டோபர் 4 நமக்கு கிடையாதுல்ல காலேஜ். ஆனால் மற்ற காலேஜுக்கு ஓப்பன் ஆகும். நம்ம காலேஜ் சொன்னாதான் திறப்பாங்க, கவர்மெண்ட் சொல்றேன். சொல்ல இது என்ன லிக்விடு? ஆமா எனக்கும் வந்துச்சு.
Hey, that bunch of hill churls! Are they holding some kind of ceremony? And what's with that pile of knickknacks? Are they worshipping them?
Seems so. That must be the Sword of Brilliant Valor, surely.
யாரா அது? யார் அது?
With sword comes shadow.
யார் யார்?
Eyes on me! Out of the frying pan, into the fire!
அதான் எனக்கு கொண்டு விட்டாரு. யாரு வந்தா இப்போ உன் பேரை?
Don't blink!
போயிட்டானா? என்ன அவன் வாய்ஸ் மாதிரி தெரியல. அங்கிள் அந்த மாதிரி இருந்துச்சு.
The Sword of Brilliant
அங்கிள்.
Valor.
Are you sure? Looks kinda basic to Paimon, and a little worse for wear, too. Why would hilly trolls be bowing down before a piece of junk like this?
Seems somebody tossed an old sword into a pile of spoils these hilly trolls were already celebrating.
This is in terrible shape, and it's so basic, I'm at a loss for words.
Say, Jack, have you ever seen an anemo crystal fly? They're found in the open country around Mondstadt City. If you saw one in broad daylight, you wouldn't bat an eyelid. But in the pitch blackness of night, its brilliant glow is mesmerizing. It truly resembles an exquisite crystal dancing in the night air. Is valor not the same? When everything is going your way, it seems meaningless. Fades into the background. But when you're in dire straits, valor is the thing that gets you fired up and fighting back. It's the brilliant ray of light that guides you out from the darkness.
You're right. You're right. Then this has to be it. This is the Sword of Brilliant Valor.
So, we got our sword. Now we just need that shield. Let's scout around. It's definitely in Dadaupa Gorge Huh?
There's somebody there.
Stanley? What's he doing here?
He's acting so weird.
What happened? Why did you stop all of a sudden?
Huh? Oh, it's nothing. Just one of those Mora spouting weasel thieves passed by is all.
What? Where? I want to see.
Maybe another time. We have a shield to find, remember?
என்னதுடா?
Lo and behold, the shield of magnificent honor.
இந்தியா ஆமா
Liar, liar, pants on fire. It's a chunk of wood. A chunk of scrap wood with the handle attached. Who in their right mind would use
Yanda.
this as a shield?
There's also wine stains on it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was just taken from a wine barrel.
And yet, my bard's intuition tells me that this is none other than the shield of magnificent honor. Warriors wear their battle scars with pride, and shields are no different. Surely an intact shield is one that has shied away from the battlefield. Is not the broken and splintered shield the one that has fought in countless wars and lived to tell the tale? Though the soldier's body be tired and torn, still they fight till the very end, till they have no blood left to bleed. Such magnificent.
You do have a point. Shiny new shields don't stay new and shiny for long.
யார் சூர்யா தானே
Well, maybe
பிரதீபா
nicely he'll
ஸ்ட்ரைக்கரா
take the shield of magnificent honor for free.
டிபி இல்லாம போட்டுதான்
Ahem. Excuse me, Mr. Hilly-churro? Well, okay, you take it from here. Hope you've picked up some Hilly-churlian by now. If not, there's always body language.
டேய் யாரா இவன் விக்கிண்டியரா ஐபிஎல்
Uh-oh, he did not seem to appreciate that. Seems cheerful enough. Maybe negotiating will
இன்னைக்கு
work out
லீச்சர்ஸ்லாம் வேற ஏதோ மொழியில பேசி
Well, if you insist, a tune I shall strum.
Seems cheerful enough. Maybe negotiating will work after all. Oh, yeah! He actually gave us the shield!
Guys, thank you so much. I can't believe I actually found them. Mom, Dad, check out the legendary weapons I found.
என்னடா
Hey, wait! The wine, you promised! I actually helped a lot this time. What are you doing here, Stanley? Out for a stroll?
Hey, what are you doing here, Bard? Fancy that, huh? You, out for a stroll, too?
Oh, that's right. An after-dinner stroll, to be precise. We were also helping a friend look for something.
I'm starting to think Stanley might be a fraud. Did Stanley plant the sword and shield here in advance so as to not hurt Jack's feelings?
Adventurers must be pretty
Yeah, no.
familiar with Dadaupa Gorge. You fought battles here before, after all.
Better believe it. I can navigate this whole area without you.
Wow. Then I admire your perseverance. And your memory, too.
It's only to be expected of a great adventurer like me. You guys had better watch out, though. This place is crawling with hillagers. I'll get back to my, stroll now. Goodbye.
Guilty conscience much?
Well, he shouldn't have gotten so carried away bragging to Jack, should he? Although, on further reflection, I must say I'm intrigued. Someone who can't let go of the past and gives up on the present instead. I wonder, if such a person was forced to take their first step towards the future, which way would they go?
What are you talking about?
I'm just musing to myself. Anyway, I propose we take a trip to Angel's Share tonight.
I'm all for work-life balance, but I think this is pushing it. In adventuring, as in business, you always have to seize the opportunity while it's there. Come on, enough procrastinating. Let's go.
இராரா வரேன். சொல்டா. நான் இப்பதான் ப்ரோ வந்தேன் தண்ணி குடிக்க போய். அப்படியே விட்டு தண்ணி குடிக்க போய். யாரா யாரது? என்ன சவுண்டு? எல் ப்ரொஃபசர்
Work-life
வந்துட்டார்.
balance, but I think this is
ஓ
pushing it.
அதுவா? ஓகே ஓகே புரிஞ்சிடுச்சு. ஐயோ ஐயோ என்னத்தான் சொல்ற. போயிட்டானா? ஆட்டோ இல்லையாடா? ஆட்டோ இல்லையா? ஐயோ ஐயோ, ஆட்டோ பின்னாடி கொடி கட்டிட்டு கேவலமா பண்ணுவாங்க வந்து. அவங்களாம் வெக்கம் சூடு சோழனை எதுவும் இல்லையா? அதான் சொல்ல.
Tell me, Stan. Tell me, what should I do?
Huh? Why does he keep repeating his own name? Could there be another person called Stanley?
Oh, Stanley. It should have been me. I should have been the one to die in the Melchior ending. Why won't your spirit come and stop me from using your name? Why? If only you hadn't had to save a rookie,
Glory to Christ.
you would have never died in that windless portrait world. You were a renowned adventurer, destined to become a legend. But now, that'll never happen, because your life was cut short, and all because of a worthless tag.
Does anyone get what's going on here?
I think our friend really did make it to the Mare Javari.
அந்த இது நார்மலா
There was real too.
அந்த yellow color line
The real adventurer.
ரொம்ப கரிய விட்டுற கூடாது, ரொம்ப
That was his
டவுன் ஆக
partner,
கூடாது.
not him. The real
நல்லா
Stanley
இருக்கும்
was the one who died
இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங்கா.
to save our
அதே ஒரு
Stanley.
2 வாட்டி பண்ண சொல்லுவான். 2
So the only reason our Stanley is called
Okay.
Stanley in the first place is because he stole the other Stanley's name?
I fear that may be the case.
Stanley, for so many years I've lived in fear. Fear that Mondstadt will forget all about you. So I tell you adventure stories at every opportunity. Mondstadt must remember. Stanley reached the center of the Madrivari. He's the greatest adventurer there ever was, and he lives on. Stanley will never die, because I am Stanley. I am Stanley. I'm sorry, Stanley. I'm getting too old. Now, are you guys planning on eavesdropping much longer?
Yikes! We're busted!
Go away. Save your questions. Just leave me in peace.
But
என்ன ப்ரோ போறியா?
Now,
ஓ
don't make me tell you
ஓகே
again.
ஓகே.
Honorary Knight, Venti, and Paimon. I'm so glad you guys are here. I've been looking for you everywhere. I wanted to thank you again for helping me find the sword and shield. My parents are finally supporting me.
Oh,
Yeah, really. They even said they're gonna pay for someone to fix up the Sword of Brilliant Valor and Shield of Magnificent Honor for me, so I can take them out on the road.
that's wonderful. So, Jack, is this the part where you bid farewell to Mondstadt and set off on your intrepid trip traversing Tibet?
No, not yet. I still don't have what it takes to go too far from home just yet. Besides, I'm sure Stanley still has a few stories left to tell. They're what inspired me to become an adventurer in the first place. Stanley, Oh, you're drunk again. We'll see you tomorrow then. After your hangover wears off. Maybe you can tell me some more of your stories?
Stanley's really fond of that kid, don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah.
Jack left.
Oh, I see. Well, thank you for not telling him about my secret.
Huh? All of a sudden you're facing the facts? That isn't like you.
Just now, I couldn't bear to look at him. His adventurous spirit is so pure, unblemished. Just a weary old feckless fraud. That kid is a
இருங்க அண்ணா
potential. I cannot allow his dreams to be crushed.
You're not a total fraud. Stanley's adventure stories and experiences. They're all true, aren't they?
Stories, experiences. What's the point of them anymore? To be honest, my memories of adventuring and of
இருக்கியாடா
Stanley,
கிடு
they're
சும்மாடா
hazy days. That's my biggest secret of all, and my biggest fear. All these years, I've been living to tell his story. His personality and the details of his life, I don't remember them clearly anymore. But the one thing I can never forget is that he died in a windless land, where his spirit can never be recovered.
Exactly. Even in his memory, the real Stanley isn't the living, breathing friend he knew at all. Instead, he's become fixed on the image of him as that battle-scarred warrior. And that image has held him captive his entire life.
I'm too old. I never let go. But still, so much is slipped away. I'm completely and utterly worthless. No adventurer should have to go that way. No adventurer ever.
Hans Archibald.
My true name? How did you know? The wind. I can hear the wind blowing in the Mare Javari. I always believed you existed.
Will you hand me your old friend's spirit?
பட்டன் வச்சு கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ணனும் பட்டன் வச்சு கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ணனும்
I can't believe it.
முன்னாடி ரெண்டு இருக்கும் பாரு bro
And thank you, Lord Barbados.
left ஒன்னு ரைட் ஒன்னு
It's gonna take me some time to calm back down.
லெஃப்ட்ல நின்றா லெஃப்ட் வரும் அந்த ஃபயர் அத மாத்தணும் அத வச்சு
Wonderful! Stanley reconnected with his true self and Jack can finally go his own way.
எனக்கும் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் புரியல bro அதுக்கப்புறம்
By celebration I do of course mean
கரிய விட்டுறாங்க
And by
Sort of.
libation, you mean you're not leaving
Nah,
the
I need-
tavern till you're too drunk to walk, right?
No, the wine here's too expensive. Jack
I'm on
owes
blue.
me some wine though. He
Mama.
promised me a rare vintage in exchange for helping him out, remember? I'll head off to fetch the wine. See you
ஆமாண்டா
shortly.
ரைட்
Meet at the usual place.
Huh? Where's that supposed to be? Why has Paimon never heard of it?
காத்துலையா ஆமா ஆமா. ம். அது கஷ்டமா இருக்குடா, அது கண்டுபிடிக்கிறதுக்குள்ள போதும் போதும் ஆயிடுச்சு. ஆஹா. ம்.
You made it. Finally.
Just tell us where you meet next time, okay? We looked everywhere. So, did you at least manage to find your wine?
Yep. Well, sort of. Jack made it out to be a rare collector's edition vintage. And actually, it's just a half bottle of regular cider. This takes me back. The first time I saw this view, I hadn't even taken on this form yet. It was about 2,600 years ago, before the world had come under the rule of the Seven. At that time, old Mondstadt was ruled by a tyrant who sealed off the city's perimeter with a ferocious hurricane. Even the birds couldn't get in or out.
Old Mondstadt? Oh, Paimon remembers! Nowadays it's known as Storm Terror's Lair, right? You mentioned it before.
That's right. The tyrant of the winds who once ruled
எதுடா
the
அங்க
tower was
புழு மாதிரி
Tarabian, god of storms. Back then,
சும்மா
I
கலெக்ட் பண்ணி
was a
வச்சுக்கோ.
wisp among the thousand winds.
அதான் சும்மா கலெக்ட் பண்ணி
I wasn't a
வச்சுக்கோ,
god of
எனக்கே
anything.
தெரியல.
I didn't even
எல்லாத்தையும்
have
கலெக்ட்
a
பண்ணி
human
வச்சேன்.
form.
ஈவென்ட்
I was just a tiny
சம்மந்தப்பட்ட
elemental
நல்லா
being
இருக்கு.
who lived in the wind. A gentle breeze bringing subtle changes for the better. Or tiny seeds of hope.
A tiny elemental being? Without a human form? Then do you mean you used to look different than you do now?
Yup. My current form is not so different from the situation with fake Stanley. I took the form of a friend. In order
விண்டியோட
to
உருவம் இது இல்லையா?
translate the story to be told, where a tyrant
விண்டியோட
ruled, and
உருவம்
a boy not
இது
that
இல்லைன்னு
old. The lyre he played,
ஆமா.
and for a song he sought.
ஞாபகம் வச்சிருக்கியே,
But
நானா
storms
இருந்தா
blocked
மறந்துருப்பேன்.
blue sky. He was sincerely distraught. I do so wish to see the birds in flight, said he, his strong eyes filling with light. But his voice was lost in the howling wind's churn, for the whirlwind takes and gives not in return. The true sky and songs that cageless soar, were they not wishes worth fighting for? So the boy turned, extending his hand. Let us cast down the tyrant and his walls from this land. The young boy raised then the flag of revolt, and I threw myself into freedom's tumult. Victorious were we who fought to be free. Gods fell, winds whipped, nations shook violently. In the smoke, a despot met his doom. And we watched as his great tower fell none too soon.
யாரு?
Mondstadt began anew, the story passed down, and since then never has another worn its crown.
So then what? What happened to your friend?
Say, Paimon, do you wish to hear the next part of the story?
Yes, of course. The suspense is killing, Paimon. Now's the time you suddenly get a craving for apples? Really?
Getting a little peckish or something.
Paimon's headed up to here with you.
You know, you're so smart it almost makes me uncomfortable sometimes. But then, maybe it's right that true friends can tell what the other is thinking. A refreshing drink, a gentle breeze. Moments like this always take me back. Back to a song that I first heard from him. Fly, fly away. Like a bird in the sky. See the world on my behalf. To the heavens may you fly.
ரொம்ப கேக்குதான். ஓ இன்னும் 10 நிமிஷம். இப்படியே நைட்டு ஃபுல்லாக போடலான்னு இருக்கேன். போர் அடி. ஆமாம் ப்ரோ, வியூஸ் இருந்தால் போடலாம். ஜாலியாக பேசிட்டு
If you ever want to trip.
பத்து நாள் இருக்கா? அந்த பாட்டுக்குள்ளெல்லாம் போவியாடா? எனக்கு அந்த மாதிரி பில் பண்றதே புரியாது. அவன் கேட்பேன். கான்ஸ்டண்டா ஒரு வாட்சிங் இருக்கு. அந்த எந்த மனுஷன்னு தெரியல. அடிக்கடி watching. மெயில் வந்துச்சாடா? மெயில் வந்துச்சான்னு கேட்டேன். அப்போ எல்லாருக்கும் ஒரு அட் அ டைம்ல வராது போல. 400 கிரிமாஜம், அப்புறம் ப்ராக்ரஷன். இல்லை இன்னைக்கும் கொடுத்தான் ப்ரோ.
In
இப்போ
adventuring,
வந்துச்சு,
as in business,
திடீர்னு
you
வந்துச்சு.
always
நாய்ஸ்.
seize the opportunity while it's there.
எதுக்கு? அள்ளி கொடுக்குறாங்க ப்ரோ. பரவாயில்ல, சில்லறை கொடுத்தாலும் டெய்லி கொடுக்குறானுங்க. ஏன் அவுட்ஃபிட்லாம் கொடுக்கலாம்? அவுட்ஃபிட்லாம் வாங்க முடியுமா என்ன? நான் இது வரைக்கும் அதுமே பார்த்ததே இல்லை. அவுட்ஃபிட்லாம் shit.
If you want my opinion, something to do with the Vision Hunt decree. It's clear that Tejima had done nothing wrong, and still they confiscated his vision. After that, he became a completely different person. I can't claim to fully understand it, but I could tell that he'd lost something very important to him. He went off on a walk, alone, circled the village a few times, and then out of the blue, he announced that he was going to leave and become a wanderer. Truth be told, we aren't sure whether trying to keep him here is the right thing to do, but equally, it doesn't feel right to let him leave when he's in this state. He's a lost soul.
Seems like he's a well-respected guy around here.
You must also be here to try and convince Tejima to stay. Tejima has protected this place ever since he arrived here 30 years ago. Keeping out the treasure hoarders, fending off any monsters that draw near, resolving quarrels between the villagers. He has put an enormous amount of work into looking after this place, and we all think the world of him. But now, all of a sudden, he says he plans to leave us. We can't help but wonder, was it something we did? We will gladly apologize if that's the case. All we want is for him to stay.
You must be Tejima. So what's made you want to up and leave all of a sudden?
It's not a question of why I want to leave, but a question of what reason I would have to stay. True, but that's not why I chose to stay here. And what made me want to come here 30 years ago? And why have I never wanted to leave in all that time? I don't have answers to those questions because I can't remember anymore. Ever since they took my vision away, it's like a slice of my memory is gone. In the past, I knew I wanted to stay here. But whatever resolve I had then, it's gone now. So I thought, what's to stop me from moving around instead? The emptiness inside me will be there either way.
Okay. Well, in that case, if we help you rediscover the reason you chose to stay, you won't need to leave anymore, right? If you can't remember anything, it's not gonna be easy. Oh, Maybe if you just try a little harder to remember, then it'll all come flooding back.
Oh, that reminds me. Last time I brought Tejima some fruit, I do believe I saw him writing in a diary.
I keep a diary? If you say so. I honestly can't seem to remember.
Oh, yes, yes, you do. And what's more, I remember you saying at the time that you wanted to make a note of a few interesting things. Things which would prove very important at a later date.
Perfect! So if we want to keep Tejima from leaving, we just need to find his diary. It must be around here somewhere. Let's take a look.
If you don't mind, we will leave you to find the diary. We should head back to the village to inform the others of Tejima's situation.
Work-life balance, but I think this is pushing it. Enough procrastinating. Let's go. For work-life balance, but I think this is pushing it. Adventuring, as in business, you always have to seize the opportunity while it's there. work-life balance, but I think this is pushing it.
Nah, bro. Nine 42.
This looks like Teijima's diary, all right. Let's see what we have here. Today, the villagers and I got together to cook dried braised salted fish. I messed up and burned mine a little, so I had to pretend that it was black snakehead instead. Today, I helped rescue a kid who had fallen in the water. After I pulled him out, he told me that his best friend Bamboo was still in the water. I searched the water the whole afternoon before finding out that Bamboo was the name of his pet crab. I went kite flying today. The string broke, so I chased after it as fast as I could. I soon realized I was never going to get it back. So I just found somewhere to sit and watch as it flew away into the distance. Seems like your average diary of daily village lives. Huh? Wait! There's more! I went to pray at the shrine again today and stayed there a while. The Omamori you gave me has faded a little, but it is still my most treasured possession. Now that's the kind of info we're looking for. Time to pay a visit to the shrine.
நாளைக்கு வரைக்கும் முடிஞ்சா போக மாட்டேனா
So this is the Omamori Tejima wrote about. Interesting. Looking at the color and the design, Paimon would have thought it belonged to a child. But anyway, if he had this with him all the time, there's a chance some of its elemental energy remained on it. Do you think that it might come in handy?
வழி காட்டு Kido bro, big fan. Why angitu?
The soil looks like it's been disturbed. Maybe Tejima buried something precious here. Something that kept him in the village.
நான் பேசுறதா? ஏன் கேக்குங்க?
Must be something pretty amazing if it made him stick around for 30 years. Let's dig it up and take a look. Looks like a letter. The paper's gone. Must have been written a really long time ago. Honda Village. Sounds so familiar. Where is that place again? Huh. So the reason
ஒன்னும்
he
சொல்றது இல்ல.
came here was to wait for someone.
யார்
He's
சொல்றா?
been here for 30 years. Oh, guess they didn't show up in the end, huh? Well, let's go give Tejima his stuff back and take it from there.
Well, I'll be. That's certainly my handwriting. And I guess the Omamorian letter belonged to me too. But I have no memory of anything that's written in this diary.
ஒன்னும் சொல்றது இல்ல.
It's clear that I was waiting for someone here.
ஒன்னும் சொல்றதுக்கு யார் போடுவா?
Over the years, I must have made a note of
சொல்றதுக்கு
anything
இல்ல.
interesting.
சொல்றது இல்ல.
Anything that I could
சொல்றதுக்கு
share with
இல்ல.
you when we were finally reunited.
டேய் சொல்றதுக்கு இல்ல.
The things that did happen over the years. The time has gone by so quickly.
bro.
30 years feels like the blink of an eye.
தெரியலையே. டெஸ்ட் பண்ணி பாரு.
How could I have forgotten something so important to me?
Most probably கேட்காது.
Now that I think about it, when my vision was taken from me, it felt like I'd suddenly been hollowed out.
Super bro.
Love, regret, everything I felt for her, it's all disappeared. No, not especially. After all, I'd forgotten who she was. Her face, her voice, the things we experienced together. I barely recall any of it. It's as if she'd never been in my life to begin with. As if all these years have been nothing but a hazy dream. I think maybe not. If this is something I waited most of my life for, I suppose I should carry on waiting. Although, what if she were to turn up eventually, only to find I didn't remember so much as her name? Wouldn't that be upsetting for her? When I think about it like that, I do feel a slight tinge of sadness in my heart. How curious. Why am I thinking like this when I don't even remember who she is? It's just like that feeling that someone is missing. Thank you both for helping me reconnect with my reason for staying here. Here and keep waiting for her.
Tejima seems to be dealing okay, but still, it makes Paimon really sad. Seems it's just like Ayaka and Toma were saying. If you lose your vision, you lose all your hopes and dreams too. That certainly explains the state Tejima was in earlier. At least we were able to help him, weren't we? Well, let's go find the next person. According to Miss Kamisato, the second one who lost their vision is a samurai from the Tenryo Commission. Is directly controlled by the Shogun. They're the ones responsible for maintaining law and order in Inazuma, the ones actually enforcing the Vision Hunt decree. But why would they take action against one of their own? Paimon doesn't get it. Huh? There seems to be some commotion over there. Let's go see what's happening.
I'll ask one more time. Do you intend to withhold this month's emergency provisions?
The entire clan is counting on that food. We demand an explanation.
How many times do I have to say it? I don't know anything about emergency provisions.
You dare deceive us? Those provisions are essential. Do you understand? Not some goods to be pocketed by greedy samurai.
You samurai think you can just do whatever you please? The Tenryou Commission will hear of this!
And who are you? One of Kurosawa's gang, no doubt.
What? We just happened to be passing by. We heard the commotion and came to see what the matter was.
I see. You seem to have come just at the right time. Perhaps you can help us settle this matter. This is Kurosawa. He's a samurai and a member of the Shogun's army. We issue emergency provisions to the area, and he's the one responsible for distribution. In the past, we'd simply ask him for provisions and everything would be delivered. Now, he suddenly refuses to give us anything. He's keeping the provisions for himself, I just know it. We'll starve without them.
No one seems to care about us. We used to think Kurosawa was a kind man, but he's shown his true colors. He's the same as all the other samurai. It's no wonder all the visions have been confiscated. The Raiden Shogun doesn't need people like him helping her rule the nation.
This must be one of the people Ayaka asked us to help. But why would she ever want us to help someone like him? Maybe we should talk to Kurosawa and see what he has to say.
I've never even heard of these emergency provisions. I don't know whether it's rumors or whether they're trying to blackmail me. But either way, it's ridiculous. If I was hoarding supplies, would I still be the poor man I am today? My own family can barely get by as it is. No, if you'll excuse me, I've got other matters to attend to. And that's the first bit of truth I've heard all day. The Shogun's army told me that I was unworthy of my vision. And they said I was slacking off on my work.
Well, that's strange. You were helping enforce the Vision Hunt decree. Why would you be unworthy of your vision?
To be perfectly honest, I don't seem to remember the details.
I know
that I would perform certain things every month. But I don't recall what they were. And it's not just that. I have this unsettling feeling, like some...
Does it have to do with the missing emergency provisions?
I didn't take any. Like I said, if I was taking them for myself, I wouldn't be going through such hard times right now. To top it all off, my house was just raided by treasure hoarders, which is why I came here in the first place. I was chasing after them when I got held up by these two. If you don't believe me, go find the treasure hoarders yourself. If there were any emergency provisions to be had, they would have found them.
He seems to be telling the truth. But we better confirm. Let's go round up those treasure hoarders and see what they have to say. We should be able to follow their tracks. They couldn't have gone...
Right, not as good as anything.
We really outdid ourselves this time. All those samurai houses packed with goods. We really hit the jackpot. I mean, besides that one house.
You haven't seen anything yet. There'll be a lot more where this came from. Today's just the beginning. I'll be leading you all on an epic journey of pillage and plunder that will go down in hoarder history.
You demand, boss.
These seem like the treasure hoarders we're after. Let's teach him a lesson.
Hi bro, alcohol Antaria. Like from the bar bro.
I got careless.
Nowhere to hide.
The wrong test subject.
Eat this!
Oh, there goes all the Mora. We worked hard to steal that, you know? Come on, boss. Think of something.
Not bad, kid. You ever think of joining the treasure hoarders? We could use someone like you. Kurosawa. Oh, I remember. So he's the one who sent you after us, huh? Just odd luck. I knew he shouldn't have hit that place.
So what did you see inside? Was it stuffed with food supplies?
Food supplies? You kidding? That place was a complete mess. All we found was a strange-looking box, hopefully with valuables inside. I didn't want anyone else to see it, so I was planning on opening it myself once we got back. But now that you've caught us, how about we make a deal? That little box for our freedom. What do you say?
You've got a deal. Now show us what's in the box.
Huh?
What the?
There's nothing in here but IOUs!
Yeah, a lot of them too. And they all seem to be made out to the owner of a general goods store, a Miss Aoi. We're talking tons of Mora here. We better talk to this Miss Aoi and get to the bottom of this. As for you guys, you're free to go. Just pray that our paths don't cross again.
Yes, of course. So, we redeemed ourselves for some IOUs. Does that mean we broke even?
Shut it. Let's just get out of here.
Welcome to Tsukumomono Groceries. We've got everything you need. Can I help you find something? Or perhaps there's something you want to inquire about? Ah, so you're friends of Kurosawa, I take it? Perhaps you're here to pay off his debts.
Whoa, whoa! Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're just here to learn where they all came from. How did Kurosawa end up owing you so much money? Did he buy anything super expensive here?
No, maybe I would too.
Purchased large quantities of foodstuffs. He'd always put the payment on his own account. However, the price of provisions began to skyrocket recently, and his salary was no longer enough to cover the cost. So, he started writing out IOUs to cover whatever he couldn't afford of the usual amount.
So that's how he was getting those emergency provisions. But why did he have to purchase a usual amount? The prices increased, and he just buy less?
Well, if you think about it, the citizens receiving the emergency provisions must have been carefully calculating how much they needed to sustain them each time. Kurosawa thought that it would be quite the disappointment for them if they found they didn't have enough, especially after such long and careful planning. So he deemed it necessary to take on the debt rather than let the people down.
Kurosawa was purchasing all the emergency provisions at his own expense. And no one ever appreciated what he did. They just complained and held him accountable.
People's attitudes will always reflect their circumstances. In the face of hardship, nobody cares to think twice. If you ask me, had Kurosawa told everyone the truth about the supplies from the start, then there wouldn't be such a severe backlash now. Of course, I'm sure there would still have been some unrest. What he was doing was truly a thankless deed. As for why he chose to spend his own money on emergency provisions and never tell anyone, I'm still not too clear myself. If you're still curious, why don't you go ask him yourself? I see. That reminds me, it seems that his vision was recently confiscated. Most unfortunate. If he doesn't clear the debt on his name, he'll have no choice but to sell that sword that is so dear to him.
Sword? What sword?
Oh, didn't he tell you? He possesses a very valuable blade. He's carried it for years now. I've asked him about its origins. He told me that it was a gift from his father, that it was too precious to sell. In hindsight, I regret that I never made an offer on it. Everything has its price, at least that's what I think. Why don't you ask him about the sword yourself? Perhaps it'll even provide you with the answers you're looking for. Oh, but before you go, if you would kindly settle today's bill.
But we didn't buy anything!
Information is also a kind of commodity, wouldn't you agree? Don't worry, I won't charge much for information about Kurosawa. Nothing we ever discussed was explicitly confidential anyway. Oh, let me think.
At least we now know where the emergency provisions are coming from. Plus, we found out that Kurosawa has a priceless sword in his possession. Let's go talk to Kurosawa again and see if he can remember anything. What are you doing here all by yourself? Where did those other two go?
I presented them with a choice. Either they left or I drew my sword. They left. It turned out to be a real time saver, actually. Perhaps I should start using it more often. Did you manage to track down the treasure hoarders?
That just about sums it up. It turns out that you really were distributing emergency provisions, but they were all purchased at your own expense.
Strange. Is that really the kind of person I was? Recollection. Even after all you've told me, I still don't remember anything. Why was I purchasing emergency provisions for everyone? And why would I put myself in such a difficult situation? I really don't understand. But I cannot deny that when I brandished my sword to scare those two away, I could sense that my body was somehow reluctant to do so. This sword was once wielded by my father. I remember once when I was young, I wanted to sneak out with the blade and show it off to the kids next door. My father ended up catching me in the act and scolded me severely. What did he say? I can't seem to remember that either. It would seem that I forgot many important things when my vision was taken from me. So many memories gone. Forever. No matter how hard I try to remember, all I can remember now is my father telling me that this blade bore his life's creed. Before he passed away, he placed the sword in my hands and said to me, "With this sword, you should."
If you look carefully, there seems to be some words engraved on the hilt. Can you recognize the words?
Virtue and justice? Somehow those two words seem to explain everything now. Taking on seemingly endless debts to make others happy. I guess that must have been my greatest ambition after all.
Read and fight.
What use of virtue and justice? I purchased the
Read
provisions
and
for
fight.
those in need. And look how
Read and
things
kanla
ended up.
kaatliye bro.
The Tenryo Commission seized my vision. And the very people I was so desperately trying to help refused to
Param bangam
understand
bro.
me.
Discard la.
And the irony of all of it is, I somehow still felt sorry when threatening them with my blade. I'm incapable of being a good person, yet I'm equally unable to be bad. I don't know what to do with myself.
Yet another troubled soul. When we get the chance, let's speak to Toma about Kurosawa's debt. The Yashiro Commission would surely help cover his expenses. In any case, we must never let him sell off that sword. Yeah, seems like losing all ambition is a terrible experience. Fortunately for us, you don't have a vision. Let's go find the next poor soul.
Dirty sound.
The third
In
person
the
who
discard,
had their vision
bro.
taken
Kiddo.
used to be a famous sword master around these parts.
Yaala param paapom.
Hyman heard that he's the present-day master of Meikyo Shisui art. Sounds pretty impressive. This is his dojo. Luckily, there's some people around. Let's go talk to them.
Nanako, don't worry. Sensei will be fine. Those thugs that challenged the dojo were strong, but he fought them all off in the end, didn't he?
Maybe, but I'm still worried about him. Things have gotten dangerous before in the past, but it's never shaken him. This time, though?
It's just because he's been possessed, that's all. Once the exorcism has taken place, he'll be right as rain in no time.
Hey there! Did something happen?
Who are you? Don't care whether you're trespassing.
ना ना मनुष्य
Just here
तेरे
to
हाथ
pass
में
us while
क्या करा
Sensei is impaired. Get out of here immediately! Don't make me draw my blade, or you won't live to regret it.
उनमें एल प्रोफेसर आ क्या कर रहा
Disciples?
Yep. We've heard all about the mighty master of Meikyo Shisui art. It's the whole reason we came all this way, to seek him out and ask him to train us. But then we got here and overheard you talking about how he got possessed or something?
Oh, I
From the
see.
way you're dressed, it doesn't look like you're from around here. Please, accept my apologies.
You are now
We've had so many people trying to cause us trouble recently that we're on high alert. You haven't arrived at the best of times, I'm afraid.
ना ये सब
Sensei got possessed
संजीव
recently,
सॉल्व पर
and it's still
ऐसा होता
recovering. He's not able to take on any new disciples for the time being. I see you are earnest in your pursuit. Okay, how about this? My fellow disciple Nanako and I will explain Sensei's situation to you in a little more detail. Then you can decide whether to stay or to leave. Sensei's name is Domo, a name I'm sure you've already heard. Though self-taught, he mastered the art of the sword to a high level. He then proceeded to defeat many other prominent sword masters, never losing a single fight. He once said that his goal was to become the best sword master in the world. And so, even while training us, he continued to hone his own art. His fervor truly inspired us, and you trained hard, determined to keep up with him. But then,
Not long ago, Sensei had his vision taken away. He hasn't been the same since. He says the strangest things over and over, and he refuses to let us train. Julia and I have discussed it, and we both think that he's being possessed by an evil spirit. So, we've asked the shrine maidens from the Grand Narukami Shrine to perform an exorcism. But if I'm honest, I still have my doubts over whether he'll completely recover.
The Grand Narukami Shrine? What's that?
you haven't heard of it? It's the largest shrine on Narukami Island. The head shrine maiden is reputed to have very close ties with the mighty shogun herself. Not that we'd have any means of involving the head shrine maiden, of course. But even one of the ordinary shrine maidens from the Grand Narukami Shrine would have clear power and authority to perform an exorcism. So don't worry, Nanako. Sensei is going to be just fine. The exorcism will take place this evening. You're both more than welcome to come and watch if you're interested.
So, losing your vision can cause possession? Guess we should come back this evening and see for ourselves.
Sri Sanjeevani, el profesor. சொல்ல போறேன்னு சொன்னேன். என்னையா வளரி வச்சிருக்க?
So you decided to come. It's a good thing you didn't arrive any earlier. You would have had to witness Sensei one of his fits of madness. Just now, when Monica was attending to him, she heard him whispering a few names to himself. When she asked him who the people were, he suddenly looked panic-stricken and pushed her away. It looked like he was in great distress. He was covering his ears and looking frantically around him with bloodshot eyes. All the while he kept calling those names. Some of them were new, others we didn't recognize. But they all seemed to be the names of sword masters he had defeated in the past. One of them was Anzai. He used to be a fellow disciple of Sensei's. His senior, in fact. But Sensei defeated him in a duel many years ago, and he has been a wanderer ever since. Sensei wouldn't stop calling his name. Thankfully, the shrine maidens managed to subdue him, so the exorcism can finally continue. The ritual has now begun. All we can do is patiently await the result. Here's hoping Sensei will be back to his normal self very soon. Please, excuse me for a moment while I fetch some water. If he wakes up, he is sure to be thirsty.
New viewer, subscribe.
Who's that sneaking around? Uh-oh. Could they be here to mess up the exorcism? We won't let them get away with it. Come on, let's go after them. Seems they aren't here. Should we keep going further up? Is this definitely the right place? Let's look a little further up. Aha! Suspicious person sighted! That's gotta be him!
How did you catch up with me so quickly? Are you sure you're Doraemon's disciples? You move even quicker than he does. Unless... I guess it's been a few years. Maybe his skills have improved again.
Excuse me? We're the ones asking the questions here. First off, who are you? And what are you doing sneaking around these parts? You seem like bad news, mister.
Bad news? I'll have you know I trained side by side with Domon back in the day, long before you ever showed up. I don't care to talk about that time anymore. But if you must know, I am Domon's senior.
That means you must be...
Anzai.
என்னடா
That's me.
நான் எஸ்வி சஞ்சீவ்னு எல் ப்ரொஃபசர் சொல்ல போறேன்னு சொன்னேன். எனக்கு புரியலையேடா. நான் எஸ்வி சஞ்சீவ்னு எல் ப்ரொஃபசர் சொல்ல போறான் சொன்னேன். ஓ எல் ப்ரொஃபசர் வந்து எஸ்வி சஞ்சீவ்னு சொல்ல போறானா? ஓ ஓகே ஓகே.
Because I don't wish to see Domon or anyone else associated with him ever again. When we were young, we were under the same sword master, studying Make Yoshi Sui art. I had begun training 5 years before him, and everyone looked up to me as a steady and dependable older disciple. Practitioners of Make Yoshi Sui art seek to achieve stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. So the majority of disciples are indifferent to rank and reward. I was no exception. But Domon was different. The first thing he did when he joined was go straight to our sensei and ask him, with a beaming smile on his face, how to become the best in the world. Sensei scolded him and told him that the art of the sword should not be used for such vain ends. Sensei said that coveting the title of the best swordmaster into his training showed that he had a fickle mind, and that this would impede him from ever mastering the blade. I thought so too. But Domon began making swift progress in his training, and even started catching up with me. Only then did I realize that it was Domon who had long since freed his mind from all agitation. He was consumed by a singular desire to become the world. He sought nothing less than perfection. And nothing could deter him from this goal, no matter what stood in his way.
Sure sounds like he meant business. So how come you don't want to ever see him again?
Because until he arrived, I was convinced that I would succeed our sensei as the master of Yoshi's art. Of all the disciples, I was the most gifted. I had trained the most. Everyone had high expectations from me. Domon's arrival changed everything. When we sparred, I lost not just the match, but my pride and my status too. I fled the dojo that day and never looked back. Later, I heard that he sparred with Sensei too. Sensei was advanced in years by then, and unfortunately that match used up every last ounce of energy in his body. After that, I wanted nothing further to do with him. Deep down, though, I still respected his mastery of the blade and his commitment to the art of the sword. So, when I heard rumors that he had lost his mind, my first reaction was to dismiss them as false. How could he, of all people, have lost his mind? His mind was the sharpest of them all. He had practiced making art to perfection. I decided to quietly come and see if it were true. Then, to my complete astonishment, I heard him call my name. I thought mine was a name he had long since forgotten. So you see, I came here not to cause him any harm. I just wanted to see for myself. Okay, you've heard my story. You should get back now. The exorcism is probably...
என் ரூம்ல ஏசி இருந்தா என்னத்த போட்டுருவேன். என்னத்த பண்றது? சொல்லு இப்போ. பண்ணிட்டேன் சொல்றா. சொல்லியா So far.
You're saying he isn't possessed?
Ngata gadde. Ira. Apa try?
Does that mean he's just lost his mind? But how is that possible? No, I refuse to believe it. Something's clearly wrong.
Nanako, please, try not to get agitated.
I am sorry. With what powers I have, I can find no sign of any malignant spirit having possessed Domon. But spirits may take a myriad of forms in this world, many of which I cannot claim to have witnessed myself. Thus, I dare not rule out possession with complete certainty. And all is certainly not lost. For I received word not long ago that Lady Yai has taken an interest in your sensei's case.
Lady Yai? Is that the same Lady Yai that I think you mean?
The head shrine maiden of the Grand Narukami Shrine? That's wonderful news! Then Sensei will be sure to recover.
Correct. Lady Yai is most knowledgeable indeed, and has abundant experience in the exorcism of evil spirits and aversion of great calamities. I am unable to say for certain whether an evil spirit has possessed your sensei, but Lady Yai can give a conclusive verdict.
Excuse me, Miss Inagi, but I must ask, should we prepare a greeting gift for Lady Yai?
That won't be necessary. All that is required of you is your timely arrival at the Grand Narukami Shrine. Lady Yai does not like to be kept waiting. I must leave now, but we will meet soon at the shrine. I wish Domon a full and speedy recovery.
Who'd have thought Lady Yai herself would have taken notice of our sensei's case?
Do you mean to say that Sensei isn't renowned enough to deserve Lady Yai's attention?
No, that's not what I meant at all. You misunderstand me. I just mean this is Lady Yai, the head shrine maiden. She has direct and close contact with the almighty Shogun herself. Anyway, you should join us too, tomorrow. Given that you've traveled all this way just to meet our sensei, we, the disciples of Meikyo Shisui Art, will do our best to help you.
Sure! After all, everyone seems pretty excited about Lady Yai. We're curious to meet her too. Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to find out a thing or two about the Raiden children from her.
புரியல என்னது யார் டிஸ்கார்ட்ல இப்பதான் ஆன் பண்ணேன் இரு 3 hours வந்துச்சா இல்ல 10:30 முடிச்சிடும் இரு பார்க்கலாம் அதுதான் வெயிட்டிங்
Keep away from me. I gave up the art of the sword. Please, let me go, I beg you.
As you can see, Lady Yai, Domon has persisted in this state for some time now. He appears to see those who have lost to him in duels past gathered all
watching now.
around him to persecute him.
Lady Yai, it must be a possession, right? This is nothing like him at all. In the past, no matter what came his way, he would always face it with a confident smile.
I'm sorry. It is clear to me that your sensei is not possessed by any evil spirit.
But then does that mean he...
This is a change in the person himself. Unable to cope with the tremendous pressure he was under, he suffered a spiritual collapse. With his wits impaired, he finally descended into madness. As one who is thrown into the sea, though he fights desperately against his predicament, it does nothing to prevent his descent into the depths. As for what has triggered this change, I believe it must be the loss of his vision. For to be stripped of one's vision is to be stripped of one's ambition.
Stripped of his ambition? But Lady Yai, even without his ambition, why should he suffer such a dramatic change? How does that explain his descent into madness?
Your school practices make Yoshi sweet. Stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. What a fine notion that would be if any in this world could ever hope to achieve. There was once one who claimed to be indifferent to rank and reward, and who fled enraged when defeated by his junior. And then there was an aged swordmaster who was aggrieved enough that he crossed blades with a disciple he himself. Then, what of the one who crossed blades with his own sensei and beloved fellow disciple, and defeated them both? Can one truly remain unagitated, of still mind in moments such as these?
Lady Yai, I'm not sure I understand.
The path of the swordmaster is filled with twists and turns. It is no small undertaking to pursue the position of greatest swordmaster in the world. It requires one to take their sword firmly in both hands and cut down the hopes and dreams of others, even those of one's closest companions. Only a deep commitment to his ambition to become the best made it possible for him to rise above encounters. When that ambition disappeared, he began to doubt himself. As he battled his growing anxiety, he slowly descended into the state you see him in now. Much like a certain fatally flawed friend of mine.
To think he's been suffering so greatly.
I'm sorry. It's all my fault.
That's enough.
Is that Ansa? Where did he come from? Did he follow us the whole way here?
Why are there two of you? Is that you or a ghost? You're here for revenge, aren't you? I knew it would come. I never should have.
You're right to assume that my feelings towards you are far from kindly. But I didn't come here to settle a score. It's been so long now that I made peace with it years ago. You did nothing wrong that day. I couldn't face the humiliation. That's why I ran. I don't think most of the people you beat along the way would hold it against you. On the contrary, when you cut our ambitions short, we entrusted them to you, in the hopes that they might carry you further. Now I know that we can't place our hopes in you any longer, since you've been stripped of your ambitions too. But that is no reason to strip them of theirs. Follow the way of the sword all the way to the highest peak. You taught them that, didn't you?
But what if one day the same thing happens to them? I put everything I had into trying to become the best. But what if it's a mistake right from the start? If there's a chance they'll end up like me one day, I'd rather they stay where they are now than go any further down this path.
Have you asked them?
After you rescued me from the hands of the pirates, I told myself I would follow in your footsteps for the rest of my days. I can't know whether I will suffer in
லூஸ்
the
மாதிரி
future
பண்ற
as I do
அதான்
now.
மீன் ஏதோ ரீசனோட
All I know is
சொன்னா
that here
ஓகே
and now in the present,
சும்மா
I wish to continue. I want to keep going until the day that I can
திருப்பி திட்ட
stand
வேண்டியதுதான்
before everyone with
நமக்கு
my
இல்லையா
head
வாய்
held high
வாய்
and
நமக்கு இல்லையா
announce
ப்ரோ
that I, like my sensei Domon before me, am a master of Meikyo Shisui art.
Nanako's far from the only one. Actually, all of us think that way.
Goodness. Well,
You see? You can place the ambition you once had in their hands. Being stripped of your ambition is something that's never happened to me, so I can't claim to understand it. But I do know what it feels like to have your ambitions crushed. That's what happened on the day that you so effortlessly defeated me. So, just as I once placed my ambitions onto you, it is time for you to release yours into their custody. You are not in the same position that I was. When I left, I had nothing to my name. But you have a great number of worthy disciples.
I understand. I'm sorry to have made you worry for me and for the state of Meikyo Shisui art. I no longer have the resolve to become the best in the world. The emptiness and suffering inside of me will not abate, so I cannot hope to still my mind and be free of agitation. But as your sensei, I shall commit to imparting unto you everything I have learned in my life so far. This is my promise. And I humbly ask Anzai, my senior, to hold me to my word.
You can count on that. I'd be checking in on you occasionally anyway, just to make sure you hadn't lost your mind again. But I am now used to the life of a wanderer. I do not belong to the dojo anymore, so I will simply stop by once in a while to make sure you aren't cutting any corners with them. Well, don't just stand there staring at me. Say thank you to Lady Yai and then get yourself back home.
So even though his ambition was taken away, his disciples can take it over on his behalf. Guess that sort of solves this one, huh?
Traveler, a moment, please. Lady Yai has some words for you.
So, my intuition was correct. The wind that blows from afar carries fresh life to these shores. For us to meet now is premature. Nevertheless, you set foot on these islands at precisely the right moment. I have high hopes for you, child. Don't disappoint me.
Ooh, Lady Yai seems to have taken a real interest in you. She seems super mysterious. I'm so curious what she really meant by all that.
Another hey wa.
Another time. For now, we should go report back to Miss Kamisato.
லே வந்து எப்பயாவது யூஸ் பண்ண க்ளோஸ் ஆனவங்க கிட்ட அதுதான் பேசுவேன். ஏன்டா திடீர்னு சரி படம் பார்க்கலாமா? 3 hours ஆயிடுச்சு, 3 hours ஆயிடுச்சு. இந்தியல் ப்ரொஃபஸர் இல்லடா 3 hours ஆயிடுச்சு எனக்கு காட்டுச்சு.